On a warm July day in the early 1860s, a somewhat eccentric Oxford mathematics professor named Charles Ludwig Dodson went on a picnic with his neighbor's daughters. Dodson took these three little girls, the Liddell sisters, on a picnic and rowed up a river to the picnic spot. He liked to make up stories, and he made up an elaborate story based on the name of one of the Liddell sisters, Alice, about a little girl named Alice who fell down a rabbit hole and discovered a remarkable land there. Alice Liddell asked him to write the story down, and it took Professor Dodson a few years to finish. He wrote it all out by hand and illustrated it by hand and presented it to Alice Liddell as a Christmas gift. It was eventually published by Professor Dodson, and he paid for the publication. The publishing company wasn't sure they were going to make money on this book, and it became Alice's Adventures Underground and What She Found There, or in the short version, Alice in Wonderland. He took his name, Charles Ludwig Dodson, transposed it into Latin, and turned the middle and the first name around, and Charles Ludwig Dodson became Lewis Carroll. In the book, in chapter 6, the Frog Footman and the Fish Footman exchange notes to invite the Duchess to a croquet party with the Queen. They bump their heads together and get their wigs tangled, and Alice thinks it's very amusing. She watches it all from afar. Here at the Sunshine Cottage, when the building was built in the 1930s, the architect clearly helped decorate the building with statues of that Frog Footman and Fish Footman, and they stood on pillars around the building. I found them in a basement tunnel a few years ago. They've been restored, and now you can see the Frog and the Fish Footman in statues on the middle of campus, remembering that they were put there to amuse, entertain, and raise the spirits of children with tuberculosis who were housed in the Sunshine Cottage Children's TB Sanatorium in the 1930s.